And we should be live. All right, cool. Who's in the chat here? Sir Legna was here like 45 minutes ago. What's up, Sir Legna? How you doing? KV is here. I see you there, KV. Skepsis D's here. What's up, Skeps? Lots of chat going on here. Cool. So how's it going, everybody? T has got to go run some errands. Baby just went down for a nappy, so she should be going to sleep. We're going to have a chill, short dev stream today. We're just going to be working in RPG Maker MZ. Feel free to ask any questions you may have about the engine or the project I'm working on or anything like that. Let me know if the audio is off or not sounding right, and I'll get it fixed. And do my best here to make some progress on the game, hang out, read the chat, and maybe help you with something you're stuck on, possibly. Happy Friday, everybody. Testing. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. That's probably fine. I changed some stuff around again, always. We're trying to find the best audio we can possibly get. My chipmunk is there. Are you messing with me? I've got RTX voice off. Is it still chittering? I'm gonna turn off the mode 2 and turn it back on. Yeah, that's the RTX that was doing it, but I turned that off. The RTX voice. I believe that's what was causing it. Is it still that way? Yeah, the click 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 click, that's I can't hear it, but son of a bitch. Let me turn this volume down. It's worse now? No. Why? I Nowis. What's up, Nowis? A chipmunk with a pocket of coins. I'm so frustrated today. Just technical issues are a pain in the butt. What else could it be? Let's kill Elgato Capture Center. That does not need to be running. What else is using my microphone? It's just OBS. Tech issues are obnoxious. I was pretty sure we had figured it out, and I thought it was OBS. Or I mean, I thought it was RTX voice when like two things are using the microphone, but that's not it. I don't know, man. Maybe, okay, what if it's... What if it's like a filter? Because I do have, you know, like these filters going on. I've got a limiter on. Right. I have a compressor too. Audio check 1 2. Audio check. It's definitely not peaking on this end. Tell him to stop playing Cookie Clicker right next to your microphone. I know. Oh, my gosh. The problem is I've tried everything, and every time we mess around with it, like, oh, we figure it out and we get it fixed. I'm like, okay, it must have been that. It must have been that. But then it's persistent. So I'm so confused as what's causing that. I don't even know what to try anymore. You know, I've tried everything. Do I turn RTX voice on and then turn it back off? It only happens when your voice seems to peak, but it's not like you're screaming into your mic, so I'm unsure why it would be peaking. Yeah, me too. Could the mic itself be messed up? Maybe try swapping mics and see. By raising the limiter, you mean lower the threshold, right? From -5 to -10 decibel. Audio check 1 2 1 2. I really need to have like on another monitor so that I can hear the stream. Does she have her headphones hooked up? Where the heck is her headphones? No, they're not plugged in. And they're tangled. Epic. Epic. Okay. Now I'll hear it. Audio check 1 2 1 2. Alright, so I can hear it on these headphones. Alright, let's try to turn the RTX on and then back off. RTX voice. All right. In, out. Let's try that. Audio check 1 2 1 2. It's about the same. Okay. I also have to slog through my own delay. That's great. All right. Now we quit. Now we quit. So we turned it on. Now we turn it off. Does that fix anything? Probably not. I'm listening back on full volume and I can hear my breathing and it's disturbing. It's bothering me a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna try not to do that. I don't even know, man. So confused. I know I tried turning the MO2 off though. I'll do it again. Let me try another microphone then. Ouch. Wow. Okay. Well. Okay, so our solution seems to be we enable RTX voice, we disable it, and we turn it on, we turn it off, and then we turn off the MO2 audio interface and turn it back on. Great. Whatever. As long as I learn the solution, I got the Steam achievement. Toggle RTX and then toggle the MO2, then stream. I just have to like, you know, and I had this set up beforehand. Son of a bitch. It's okay. Better late than never. What am I doing today? How are you guys doing today? Yeah, I would rather spend 15 minutes at the beginning and get rid of that than to just do the whole stream with it. That's just not, that's not going to be good for anyone. Arrow, what's up? How are you doing, man? Leveling up some tunes on WoW. Oh, you're playing WoW, Skeps? How's Shadowlands? I haven't played in so long. Years. And the last time I came back, it was for like a week. I played for a week. I bought like Cataclysm and played for a week, and then I was like, all right, I'm done. I've been playing this old, very, very old game called The Realm Online. And they're doing like new, like there's a beta for seasonal servers. So I've been doing a lot of beta testing and bug reporting, and it's like a blast from the past, except the tech issues are just incredible. Trying to get it to run is a pain in the ass. It's made like 25 years ago. That's what you'd expect from a 25-year-old game, essentially. All right, it's time to word wrap and change some things in the weapons. I started doing this and then I got distracted and we really did a whole bunch of other stuff. I do need to check one thing. If /skill is the right way to reference a skill in the description box. So what skill would the warrior start with, or what weapon does the warrior start with? Is it an axe? Let's find out. Sounds like every old game, great game, just got to figure out how to get it to run. Pretty much. Oh, I need the server running. Must start the server. It's trying to connect to the socket server and it's just failing over and over and over. Boom, 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 boom. I started the SQL server, so that's running. Database is there. It found the objects, the 2 accounts that are there. Excuse me. And then it connected. There you go. Let's log in. Oh, I have every weapon. That's useful. Wait, hold. Damn it. Item. Weapons. Adds limit. Burst. Oh, okay, so there's no skill for that number. Obviously, that's why it's showing a weird thing. Add something limit burst, but it's trying to. Why is burst a different color? That's strange. I wonder if that's happening because I'm trying to reference... No, it's different here. It's cool to see all the icons like this, though. I like the display of all these items. It's really neat. It shows all the items that are set as shields. Rings, head, body, hands, feet. Let's fix these database things. I'm basically just going to polish the database a bit. Fix some things. No one will ever see this, so it's not a big deal. It's more of an OCD thing, I imagine. Okay, that'll be fixed. Nowis asks, do you have any Vigistello auto text color stuff on? Burst is a keyword somewhere, like in a plugin parameters. I think so. Yeah, I think you guys are right. Let's find it. I'm so glad it's Friday. Maybe it's not in the core engine. It's message core. Probably message core. Auto color settings. Text code actions. Text code replacements. There's so many things packed into these plugins. It's crazy. Text macros. Hey, Boca Latte, how are you doing? Oh my God. Wait a minute. There's a way to automatically enable word wrap for everything. That's great. I mean, I see why it's disabled by default. There's actually a few things I don't want word wrapped. Otherwise, I would just turn that on and save myself the trouble of databasing it all. Interesting. Help windows? Yeah, let's put that in all the help windows. Line break space. Yes. Tight wrap. Okay. Watching your older videos gave me something new to stuff into all of mine's. But I like the idea. You wanted a note field in the plugins, so I will most likely add that tonight. If I would start a new project, I think I would just enable word wrap and not have to word wrap all the descriptions and stuff. For sure. But for a specific reason, like I've got tiers of items from 1 to 12, and I like having the tiers all on the second line of the description. So like if you're scrolling through, the first line is all of the text for it, and then the second line is always just the number of stars. It's kind of it's just a style, I suppose. It's not something I would recreate, but because I've already created it inside the database and like hundreds of items, I'm just gonna stick to it and save myself some databasing time. It doesn't. It just adds the stars at the end. It doesn't do it smart. It's like you'll have 3 stars on the side and then like 6 stars on the bottom if it's a 9-star, and it just looks kind of silly. I'm thinking I should have redesigned it in the first place to have like a bigger star icon or a gold, some different star to represent 5, so that you don't see 12 of them at the end. You just see like 2 big ones and 2 small ones, like Roman numeral type style. So you go like 4 little stars, and then when you upgrade, it'd be like a big star, and then a big star and a little star, a big star and 2 little stars. That would have been better. A rainbow star. So I'm looking for the word burst. If the word burst is used, is like set up automatically. One day. Bronze, silver, and gold stars. 1, 5, and 10. But then like the tier 12s would be like a gold and 2 bronze. That would look silly. Or you could just have a you could no, that'd be confusing, never mind. Like one icon and like each different look represents a different tier, but that's you have to have 12 icons for that, depending on well, you know, depending on how many tiers you have. I went excessive in this project, in the MV project, the Dungeons of Driftwood, which is the main database that I brought over to MZ to keep it up to date. Auto color settings. I would believe that it's in here somewhere. Actor's name. Oh, it's this one because there's a skill called burst. That's what's happening here. So it's changing all the names of bursts to be this color. Skills, items, weapons, armors, and states are all set to be colored 4. And since burst is a spell, it's a skill, it will change the color. Well, that's fine. I'm okay with it. I just wanted to know if, you know, where to go to change it and what it was. So you're right. You guys are right. It's an auto color setting inside of Vigistella, which I'm going to leave. I'm fine with it. It's not a big deal. I just wanted to pinpoint it. So that's good. We got that pinpointed. Let's go back and find another bug. You see how the stars are all on the bottom? That was the thing. That was why I didn't want to turn on word wrap for everything, because it would just put them at the end. And if like it had a lot of description and the stars started like here, it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it would split them. I never made any earrings. So there's a weapon. Even after I've made all these items, I still haven't made any earrings. That or I haven't set them up as earrings properly. I could have swore that I made earrings. Let's go check that out. Let's go to armors. Belts and cloaks and shoulders. Accessories. Shields, feet. Hands, armor, head, rings. So I didn't do the rings yet. Or no, I did do rings. Oh, I started these. These were for different. These won't actually work. So I didn't do earrings. That's good to know. I thought I did. So hey, found something I have to do. What happened? Did I crash? Oh yeah, description. Fire amulet. Let's fix that. So it's trying to find an icon that doesn't exist. There it is. Pendant of Fire is trying to draw fire amulet picture, which doesn't exist in the project, so it won't do it. So I'm going to just get rid of that. You know what I could do? Anything that's trying to draw a picture, I should just search for. It's a good idea. Let's do that. Picture inside the description note box. Find next. Oh, come on now. Come now, my lady. Was that really all of them? Well, if there is another one, it'll show up here as a failed to load PNG. That's fine. Let's get this up too, so I can see when it happens. For an MMO, I would want a large number of items, right? So I decided, why don't I take my biggest database from MV and convert it to MZ? That way that work can live on, at least in some sense. And when you like, it'll make the monumental task of making a MMO a little bit easier because I've done years of work on a database already. Now it says I never knew such search option existed. Yeah, Control F right inside the JSON viewer of MZ. I think it actually works in MV too. What if players could make new items dynamically in game? I would love for that to happen, and I tried to make that happen in yesterday's episode by including an MV plugin that adds a prefix and a suffix to items randomly. So like you can have like a sturdy, what is this? Cloak of Flames +3 of the wind, and it would add like extra vitality and extra like wind resistance to it and stuff. And I had made a lot of prefixes and a lot of suffixes that works in MV, but it does not work in MZ, unfortunately. It just crashes. It's dependent on the YEP item core, and Vigistella's item core is different. It's bigger, badder, and better, but it's different. I also had to change these around because they gave... I was able to keep the same functionality of the barrier on these shoulder pads, but I had to change the note tag. I'm the real Toronto Gaming, all the rest of you Trons are just imitating, so won't the real Toronto Gaming please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. What's up, Toronto? How you doing, Corey? How's your day going? How's life treating you today, man? It's good to see you. I'm looking for bugs in my description boxes and looking at the items I've created. Whatnot. Oh, I can still hear. Yes, I should turn this down. There we go. MZ should have added such upgrade mechanics into the main core base instead of waiting for Vigi to make it. I agree with you, Arrow. But like, until you talk to the right person to make Ojima do it, he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. He'll just be like, I'll let the plugin creators make it. Excuse me. He's just gonna be like, well, they're gonna put it in plugins, right? And the answer is yeah, it's gonna be in a plugin probably. I was like, all right, well, I don't have to add it. You have to talk to the right person that tells Ojima what to do. He's employed by Katakawa. So you got to find the right person, and then that person can say, hey, I want this in, do it, make it happen. He'll be like, ah, fine, I'll do it. See, we've got all these numbers in the top. These are state numbers, so I'll have to go through the belts as well. We'll do that. No wristbands, huh? That's fine. The plugin creators should go on strike. I don't know about that, man. We need them. We need them way too much. These are items for plugins that don't exist yet. I opened Wave 7. Or wait, did they do Wave 7? I don't even keep track anymore. I have them all, and when they do come out, I update them. I just can't remember. Whenever they make the next wave of plugins, I hope it has the equip skills plugin, and I hope that it has a like a caveat that you can decide which characters or which classes are affected by that equip skills instead of all of them. That would be the shiz. Leggings. That would be pretty gigawa. Relics. These are leechings. Leech 20% of the damage you deal is HP. That's OP. Attacks restore 20 MP. That's good. This one's also not going to be used. We cannot extend the maker itself with user interfaces, so we must use note tags or other tricks to make complex add-ons. Why not? Why can't you do it with additional UIs? Why can't you? I don't understand why you're not allowed to do that. Like, that is the coolest way to do it. Like, look it. I want to make a new UI, right? I want to do something, HUD Maker. And then, like, it just, you load your project, you open the project. It's already open to this one. And you add the things you want to add. And, like, that's it. Done. It's freaking sick. And it doesn't, you don't have to make a UI in game. You just make it a third party that opens the database, and like that's pretty much it. I gotta pee up here back. That would be the baller way to do it. Sorry about that. Limit burst. I have to remake all of the action sequencing. That'll take a while, but it'll be worth it because at the end of the day, you want your battle system and your skills to be like really polished and fun to use, essentially. Arrow, you've never seen the HUD Maker? It's fantastic. It's so good. There's going to be plenty of episodes of looking at that. I don't really need to mess with it right now. I've done a few tutorials on it. I'll make more as I need them and as people request them. Many of the items in this database are not going to be used or seen by the player. Okay. I think we found all the real, like, bugs. The real, like, picture not found, crash bugs. At this point, I need to go through the weapons and the armors and change the text codes to be ones that are for MZ, not MV. So right here, where it's doing IS, we're going to replace that with skill. It's going to be a little bit of a slog here. I wonder if you can, like, find all and replace. Just find next for IS. It'll save me a little time this way because the buttons are closer. Databasing with Drifty. Honestly, before I found RM, I was thinking about making a similar program. Then I found RM and I was like, why make it if there's already one? Hey, A+ mod, how are you doing? Don't reinvent the wheel. That's a, yeah. That's a waste of your time. Unless you feel like the wheel is flawed and must be improved. And then you have the passion, the drive. The stamina, the dedication, the determination. Oops. The typos. One man with a desire to improve the RPG Maker engine. No limit was too far. Stuff like this can give you carpal tunnel, though, if you go too long. When you're, like, locked in place and you're like, click, click, control, copy, control V, next, control V. You do it too much. You gotta take a break. Don't get carpal tunnel. Oh, my wrist. My wrist. Or you don't want to depend on someone else to keep it updated and compatible. I choose to see it as I let other people maintain the monotonous, ever-changing, futuristic technologies. I don't know if I'll some people were saying yesterday something about making an engine. I was like, yo, that seems like too much work for me. Making an engine is just like, you work on it for years and then by the time you finish it, it's like all your tech is out of date. The only way I see making an engine a viable thing is if you have a team of people all speed run coding it. Speed coding. You have a team of people speed coding before the tech they're using becomes obsolete. That's the way to do it. Or you just go power level 9,000. 180 million. The irony here is after changing these, all of these /IS's, why did it go here? There's no IS here. Oh, wait, no, wait, is it? Oh, for wisdom. Anytime it finds wisdom. That's fine. Anyway, I was in the middle of a sentence. I don't have skill 287, skill So I still have to make the action sequencing and the skill for all of these weapons, which is fine. When I do, then it'll show them. Until then, it'll just be blank. It'll just say adds blank limit, and then it'll say burst in a different color. It'll be very weird, but it's fine, because eventually all of these little passes doing stuff like this, at the end you have a very polished description on everything, and you can't think about like what you did the day. You have to think about, what did I do this month? What did I do this year? It's like, oops. You can't get too hung up on, man, I'm going to spend my whole time just changing descriptions and texts and blah, 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 blah. Because, I mean, that when you put it like that, it sounds like you're wasting your time. But if this is something that you enjoy doing, then it's a bonus. And for me, I don't enjoy this process. It hurts my wrist. I don't like the process, but I don't mind it. It's not hard. And at the same time, I keep thinking, I just got to finish it. I just got to get it done. Let me just get this done, and then I can move on to the next thing. And then once this next thing is done, I can move on to the next one, and so forth and so on. And at the end of however long it takes you, you have something cool to show people, and you're like, yo, check this out. And then people will be like, oh, that's cute. Or they'll be like, oh, it's amazing. And sometimes, most of the time, you get both responses just from different people. I definitely think you should use text codes in your descriptions and word wrap them if you need to. Put icons in your descriptions, change the font sizes of certain things. You know, do the extra mile, do the extra bit, because it's going to make it so much more readable. And when you spend a large portion of the game looking at a menu, looking at items, reading descriptions, checking stats, you know, all that happens in your head. And if you can make it easier to get through as a player, then you're really improving the gameplay, and that's making a better game. And I'm all about making a better game. $10 super chat from Corey Davis. Corey, thank you so much, man. He says, I think the other reason to make an engine is to have no restrictions on what you can do. So he's on the go ahead and try to make your own engine camp here. All right, Corey. Like if you use Unreal, what if they say you can't say the word gay if you use their engine? Now you're pooned. Right. Well, I'm pretty sure you can say the word gay if you want to. But I get what you're saying. That's just an example. You don't have to pay a royalty. If you sell a game with your own engine, you don't have to pay them any royalties. You don't have to do... you don't have to put credits to them. It's credits to you. You could even possibly sell your engine or license your engine out to other people. That's pretty cool. I'm not saying it's a dumb idea to make an engine. I'm saying it's a very, very hard task to accomplish, especially on your own. So I'm not against making your own engine. I'm saying, man, by myself, I don't see myself making an engine for a game. At the most, making a good game, you know, and at the very least, making a few resources for that engine, whether it be videos, tutorials, minor little plugins, or design ideas, or like cookie cutter events. I see Kaz. I see you, Kaz. Kaz has been putting out, on top of a bunch of icons and stuff, cookie cutter projects, which, I mean, shit, I should have thought about selling my cookie cutter projects back in MV. I would have like a catalog of like 30, 40, $5 to $10 projects that you can cookie cutter download, like farming systems and mining systems and fishing systems and resource gathering systems and like all kinds of stuff like that. Cookie cutter is a good term for it too, because it's like we give you a blank project that's got the bare minimum stuff you need to make that system work. And then for like $5, you can download that project and everything you need for it. I love that idea. I'm glad Kaz is doing that. She's making a bunch of like sample games that are like cookie cutter for a fishing system, and they're all very basic stuff. But like, maybe you don't want to watch a tutorial, a 15-minute tutorial, and copy everything one thing at a time. Maybe you ain't got the time for that, but you're willing to pay $5 just to have the project so you can start there and make your own thing. Some people that is a business opportunity for people who want to make those types of things. And it's also a convenience to the people who are willing to just like, look, I don't want to follow a tutorial and make this by myself. I want to just have it so that I can use it to make the next thing I'm working on. If they're in a different, if they're in a different field or a different level, you know what I mean? So I like the idea of what Kaz is doing, and I might do something like that in the future. I mean, I already have, right? But I just haven't charged for it. I'm not opposed to charging for a cookie cutter system. Just make it a little bit more in depth than like a tutorial, you know, and do the tutorial with it, but also like give you all the resources you need to make that system happen. I think it's a really pretty smart approach, because you know times change, and everything has been handed to RPG Maker devs in the past. Everything's been free on the internet, and if you didn't want to pay for it, there's people who like pirate it and stuff. But like now more people are like, look, I want to support the people who are doing this. I want to support them, and I like what they're doing, and I want to use what they're doing, but I want to support them too. And so by supporting them, they also get a small extra convenience of not having to slog through the tutorial and follow things one at a time, and if they miss a step, then they have to go back and figure out where they messed up or they didn't copy it right. Just give them the whole project, give them, you know, even more stuff than you would do for a basic tutorial, make it a little more solid, and charge for it. And I think that's a great idea. There's so many systems that I could do that would fall into that cookie cutter thing, you know. Oh, I did them all. Hey, we got all the skills done. Or the weapons. That's the weapons. Okay, let's go to armors and do the same thing. It's time to do the same thing. Right at the top, Control F. We're gonna look for IS and find next. Anytime it's referencing /IS, it's icon. Not many armors grant skills, so I don't predict that being very many of them, I suppose. do. All right. But the problem, if I previous, the problem is, here's one. Boom. Of course, I'm not even going to use that, so not a big deal. Not even, whatever. It's also finding anything that says IS, so anytime wisdom shows up. Luckily, /I still works for icon, so that's good. Thank you so much for the $10, Corey. Appreciate that. Oh, here we go. It's actually finding IT, which is state. Let me finish IS and then I'll go through ITs. There was only one. Interesting. Here's one. Bang. And that's it. Let's go to IT, but also start at the top. So I can just say find next. Maybe I should do /IT. That's better. Why am I making life hard on myself? Masochist. Find next. IT is state. It definitely saves you time though, the find in option function. Should definitely be using it if you have a larger database. All of the little things you do in your project, they'll add up. All of the shortcuts you make and things you omit will also add up and make it feel unpolished and sloppy too. All of the features that you start and then haphazardly abandon will add up as well. So keep that in mind as your project grows in size. Sometimes you need to take a step back and go through and do something that may seem monotonous just to polish it up. Serlingna, thank you. You gave me another plugin idea, the database updater, in case I change some note tags and such in the next RM release. All the dead code will add up. Shh, don't talk about my commented out code. It does add up, but I take it out from time to time. It's like the garbage, you know? Every week it comes to get picked up. And then every week on a specific day at a specific time, I accumulate it all in one spot and put it out there, and that's how it works. I like to keep the last working thing, like even though I commented it out, it was the last working thing, or it was the last idea that I had tried. I like to keep that visible in the code, because it's not like I'm pushing updates to people. It's just me looking at it. Well, I mean, actually, it's everybody who's watching on stream looking at it, who cares to look at it. But you know what I mean. It's not like it's going to be a public release that's downloadable and whatnot. If it ever got to that point, I would clean it up. It's like the garbage pickup. I'd make sure that's all nice and neat. So people will pick it up like, this was an easier stop. Look at this organization. I wonder, yeah, you know what it shows if you polish up your database? Is that it? Is that all of them? That was all of them. Okay, cool. If you polish up your database, it shows that you're a considerate dev. That you are considering your player and you want your player to have a good time. /IT, let's do the same thing. Find next. Really? Okay then. What about in items? Find next. Okay then. Hey, what about in skills? I don't know if I checked skills. /IT. Hey, there we go. Grants state, and state. Find next. State. What I'm basically doing is maintaining and bringing up to date the biggest project that the biggest database that I had ever made inside the previous version of the engine. So besides just making it usable in this MZMMO game, I'm keeping my work, I guess I'm updating my work, you know what I mean? So that if I want to use it inside of MZ, I can copy the work, and I don't feel like it was a complete waste of time. So I guess what it boils down to is investment bias. I've put too much time and effort into a bunch of database objects to let it just become an MV project that never gets opened or looked at or used anymore. So what do you do when you have investment bias? Tell me, what do you do? You invest more, right? You've already invested so much. The bias is going to convince you that it's worth continuing down that path, even if it's madness, because you're biased. You've already put too much. That's why websites will make you like, please create a username. It's like they'll just make you pick one thing. You make bad decisions. There you go, Sterling. They'll be like, all you have to do is make a username, and then you pick your username. And it's like, okay, select your email, make a, like submit an email that you can validate and pick a password. It's like, okay, that's easy. You probably already have an email, and then you just click the link and you select your password and blah blah blah. But then after like 9 steps later, input your payment options, input your payment information. You know what I mean? They don't start with input your payment information, and that's very calculated, because if it starts with give us your credit card number, they're going to have like 90% less business. But if they start with just pick a name, what do you want to be called on our thing, then boom, they've already got you invested if you picked a name. That's not for sure that you're going to give them your credit card information, but it's a lot more likely that you're going to give them your credit card information if you've already invested even a second of your time. So that's how investment bias can get you. And what I'm trying to say is, I have investment bias on this database, this project, because I put so many years of like what you see me doing here into it that I can't just let it die. I can't let it go. It's almost like a problem. And so instead of starting over, which you could do, but instead of doing that, I've got this investment bias that says, don't do that. You're going to want to make the same stuff you already made years ago. Instead, just bring that MV stuff into MZ. And so I have, and I am continuing to change the things that need to be changed, like all the shortcut commands from MV to the MZ commands. And it's a simple thing by themselves, but if you magnify the scale, it becomes a job. It becomes time consuming. But I don't look at it as like a problem. I'm looking at it as an opportunity. This is an opportunity to slay the boss, because we've talked about this in the past. RPG Maker, the engine, is essentially a game that you play. And so I'm just grinding. You know what I mean? I found a way to further level up my character. One of my favorite games got an expansion, essentially. And now RPG Maker, the game, has a new expansion, the MZ expansion. And I've got to get that next gear. I've got to update my gear. So all my /ITs have to become /state now. All of my /ISs have to become /skill now. All of the IIs need to come /item now. And that's how you get the next tier. Sounds kind of crazy, but is it really that much different? Nah. Do you have fun getting the next tier of items? Sure you do. Is it always about just having fun the whole way you're doing it? Like, it is fun in its entirety, but like, you may not want to kill that creature the 97th time, but you're like, man, all I have to do is kill it 100 times. So you're like, I'm going to have fun killing it the last 3 times because you're right there. Shut up, Sir. Like, most addictions don't look like a problem. Okay. All right. Now we're getting to the root of the problem here. The root of the evil is I'm addicted to RPG Maker. The real problem here isn't that I have to change things. It's that I'm addicted to RPG Maker. Thank you for, realizing you have a problem is the first step in recovery. But I don't need to recover because I'm not a quitter. MZ favorite RTP? Mine too. You know, I like some of the midis from XP, and there's certain tracks from all the engines that I thoroughly enjoy. But I gotta say, overall, the RPG Maker MZ RTP music is my favorite set of songs. It's like, because I can listen to almost all of it, barring like one or two pieces, which is like Battle 7. That's all I hear. It's like, maybe if I heard it 15 years ago, I'd be like, oh, it's kind of dubsteppy. It's kind of... I love EDM. It's just really bad. It's just... There's a few really bad songs. I just took them out. What's your favorite? I'm curious now. Arrow, what's your favorite? If you had to pick one track from RPG Maker MZ... Like, if I had to pick one from MV, I would say Theme 6 because it's been memed, right? Dun, dun, na, 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 da, na, 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 na. Like, that's Theme 6, right? That's my favorite because of how many times it was like... It's like Stockholm Syndrome. I've heard it so much, and I hated it so much that I love it now. But for MZ, I don't know yet. I think I said a while ago that Ship 1 is my favorite. This one. Because it reminds me of like the feeling. It really captures the feeling that I get like when I see a new engine about to be released. Like, this is really the feeling. Right? A new engine approaches. Oh my god. Theme 4. Arrow likes Theme 4. Let's hear Theme 4. Oh yeah, this one's good. I like Theme 4 too. This one has like a modern but also retro at the same time. I know that's like an oxymoron. It's like Silent Thunder or Girly Man, but it's a modern retro soundtrack. It's very good. I like Theme 4 as well for MZ. Borobi says, I can't pick any from MV. They're all shit. No, they're not. MV has some good tracks. Just not as good as MZ's tracks. KV says Dungeon 7 is my favorite to listen to forever. We're going to hear KV's favorite in just a second. I want to let this one play out. KV liked a lot of MV's tracks. Yeah, I liked a lot of MV. I think MZ's are better, but MV's were not terrible. MZ's just a good... It's a good version. MZ's are really good. MZs are just better, yeah. MVs were good. There were some that I kind of don't like. But the same thing with MZ, even though it's my favorite of all of the RPG makers. Let's see, which one was next? Dungeon 7. Let's hear Dungeon 7. Right? That's pretty cool. They're all listenable, and that's why I keep them on a playlist on low. Because you can just listen to them while you're working on your project. They don't, like, interfere with your flow. Well, some of them do. Like, Battle 7, you can see it doesn't exist here in the playlist because it interrupts me. Like, when it's playing, I'm working on my project, and I'm like, what the fuck? What? I lose my train of thought. And I'm like, I gotta turn it off because it's just like something's, you know, it's like a dog whistle to me. The rest of them are like really mellow in the background, like you can do your work. Anyway, guys, it's Friday. It's been really chill, really mellow. I've had a fun time. We did some progress. Let me save it. T's gone. It's always slower and more boring when it's just me. I'm sorry about that. I love you guys very much. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sorry for the first 13 minutes dealing with crickets and fast clicky clickies on the sound. We've found a solution that works most of the time. Enable and disable the RTX voice and then turn off the Mode 2 and turn it back on. And if it doesn't work, turn it off again, turn it back on. That sucks. I wonder if it's my Mode 2 M2. It's such a good audio interface. It's really, really good. I hate that it has a little cricket sound. I wonder if it's because I like dropped my phone on it just too many times or something. I don't know. Have a fun and fantastic weekend, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys on Monday. Next week, we've got some stuff. On Tuesday, we have Aerosys's Dungeon Generator. We're going to go back to that and keep working on that. Sir Legna's plugins, first impressions on Wednesday the 17th. We have a first impressions for Lighthearted Stories game on the 18th. That's Thursday. So first impressions on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Of course, Tuesdays is not really my first impression because we started looking at that, but Marcel Aeroka, which is Aerosys, we're going to look at we're going to continue where we left off. I haven't closed it. I've restarted my computer, but I keep the tab up. We're here. We're on this, the procedural maze generator. We're going to be looking at this and continuing the steps inside the engine, which I've got it over here. This is space, and I got snippets. I made my own snippets here. We're going to be doing this on Tuesday, going back to making random dungeon generation. And all I did was finish this one, so I didn't do too much. I wanted to do more. I haven't really generated anything yet, but I want to do that live like we were planning to do 4 videos. So the second one's coming up where we're going to randomly generate maps inside the MZMMO. When you enter the portal, where's it at? Here we go. Nope. Where's it at? There we go. When you enter the portal, you get to decide like where you want to be at. And like you pick what type of dungeon you want, and then it generates you a dungeon, and then you can fight creatures in that dungeon based on the level you picked. I don't want to do level scaling, but I mean, I have to figure some way to balance out letting people use the same dungeons for different levels. So we'll have to come to some consensus on what's best. Level scaling is like the easier, cheaper way to do it, and I don't really want to do that, but maybe we'll do controlled scaling where it can only be so strong so you can power level and out level all the creatures. They'll all have a cap to them or something like that, right? We'll figure it out as we get there. One step at a time. This is a long-running project. Another $5 super chat from Corey Davis. Thank you so much, Corey. I appreciate that $5. This one is but I like the song. Yeah. Talking about the RPG Maker OST. Thank you for the $5. Appreciate that. Yeah, we'll get back to doing that. This is going to be a running project. Hopefully, within sometime this year, I can release an MMO RPG using the RPG Maker MZ engine, MySQL, NodeJS runtime, and the Chromium MZ browser. It's not really a browser. I guess it is a browser. This is Chromium. But it's using Node. I would like to use this, Socket.io, and if we have to use jQuery, we'll put it in there, but I've found a way to not have to do that. I like the way that, what's his name? Sam is doing his code. And I looked at it some more. Once again, I'm not copy pasting, so it's taking a long time, and I have to read through it and try to figure out what he's doing. And I haven't really done many changes at all, and I haven't made any massive leaps or any big progress. But I'm slowly absorbing the way that he's doing NPCs, and eventually I'm gonna write it up and have a way to draw multiple people on the same map. So, I can't do that too much because people get tired of looking at just text on screen all day. But yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys next week. Love you very much. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. I very much appreciate your attention and your time. Even those who are just lurking, I really do appreciate it. $5 super chat again from Corey. Thank you. Appreciate the $5. I wasn't watching the video live. I was like 2 minutes behind, lol, but the track I like in MZ is the song I made called Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, let me find it. And we'll outro to that. That's what we'll do. We'll outro to Yeah. Let me not show our entire talking history here. Let me just find the song. Let's go up to Yeah. That's where I have it here. There it is. There it is. All right, Corey. Appreciate it, man. You have a fantastic weekend. Drive safe, my dude. Let's pause these tracks here and outro to yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a fantastic weekend, everybody.
Yeah.
I once knew a guy. His name was Corey. He makes some 6 beats on the OS, the operating system of Fruit Loops. That's not the that's not the acronym I wanted. All right, I wanted it to say, what the fuck is it called? DAW. Da. Yeah. $5 super chat from Corey Davis. He says it's also on sale on my itch.io page. Links in the description below. Like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Come join us on Discord. Follow me on Twitter. Love you. Bye bye. You can download this track on Corey Davis's itch.io. It's at the bottom. The link to his itch is at the bottom of the description of this video. Bye bye.
Yeah.